today we're talking about why we won't be playing some of 2023's biggest games. You forced me to make a list, which stressed me out. So thank you for that. I didn't love it.
We came up with an exhaustive list of all the games coming out this year. The stress is setting in. There are too many games, and we are deciding right now today which we are playing and which we are skipping.
Also, there is some Nintendo Minute intrigue and mystery and things that you may be surprised still exists on the internet.
They didn't take it all away.
Nintendo.
And
don't watch this episode. Because I don't want you to find this baby. Just kidding. But we did find some lingering bits and pieces of our Nintendo Minute history that we wanted to tell you about.
Also, we're back together.
It's already been a rough start, you guys.
What?
You've already annoyed me by telling me that my initial list of games was not exhaustive enough, it was very good. It was pretty much 99% there, and I think you added like 3 things.
Whatever. So we've done 3 weeks of remote episodes. We're finally back together. I think it's great. I couldn't wait to be back and doing this. Apparently you feel differently.
Take it or leave it.
Well, now it's time for your vacation, and you said don't contact me at all.
Well, I'm going to be going to a place with no internet.
All right.
But I won't be going for 3 weeks. I'll be going for 3 days. So there's that difference, you know.
Wait to see what I can get up to in 3 days.
You better get to work in 3 days is what it is. Because I have been working tirelessly for 3 weeks while you're gallivanting around Taiwan.
Jeez.
So 3 days, get to work. That's what they say.
That's
what they say.
Okay.
So some of your gallivanting did result in a really great video, though.
It did.
Yeah. Tell us about your Taiwan gaming vlog.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
The vlog is out.
Yeah.
The rare solo kit video. We got the solo Krysta video the week before with you going to the Game Awards concert.
Yes.
Yes. So I set out on this trip with this goal of, I'm going on vacation, but I want to really dig into what gaming is like in Taiwan because I didn't know. And that was an element of the unknown to me because I didn't know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
There was a chance I found nothing.
Right.
And
or a chance that you find like really weird stuff that wasn't popular in the US. Like things that you weren't into. Like I know Asia.
The big PC game, Brown Dust 2.
Yeah. PC
which was
games,
everywhere.
Or like some of those random mobile games that
Spiritual successor to Crop Duster.
Crazy mobile games that I've never heard of before.
Right. And I think people assume like, gaming in Asia is like, well, Japan, we know about Japan. And maybe they know like,
Korea.
StarCraft in Korea. Yeah. Like that was where esports began and all that.
Right.
But beyond that, it starts to get a little
nebulous,
shaky. So it was great to dig into that. I found a few places that really felt like hitting the jackpot though. And I found current gaming stuff. I found retro stuff. I found just kind of general gaming culture. So all of this is in the video. And I actually brought some of the items that I got with me that we can just
show and tell.
Take a quick look if you want to see more of these. First of all, we have this wonderful.
This is for me, right?
No, Dragon Quest slime.
I thought you got
mug.
it for me.
I mean, it can be for our set, but
no, I'm gonna
keep your hands off of it.
I'm gonna take this.
Well, hold it up to the camera, please.
No, can I open it?
Yeah, you should.
Really? I don't have a scissor. Okay.
A scissor? Oh no.
I don't have a skizzer.
But anyway, this is something that I had seen from a while back. Like they have this Dragon Quest merch. It's like, well, that's never coming to America.
You gotta get the Dragon Quest.
Well, you see, there's a his and hers.
Wow.
I got the his.
You didn't get me the hers?
No.
Why would you not? That's so mean.
I'm on a 3-week trip. The suitcase space is at a premium. I barely squeezed this in. Are you joking me?
It is kind of a big box, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. I did, in the back of the video, when you were getting the mug, I saw a king slime something in the back. What was that?
I don't know.
It looked cool.
I mean, some of these stores, you saw, those cabinets were just packed with stuff. Apologies to our audio listeners right now, but...
This is so cute. Thanks so much for getting this for me.
Take it out of the plastic. What is this actually made? Plastic?
It's glass.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is classic.
That could have broken. I'm worried.
No, well, it was packed very well. Oh my God, how cute.
Can I see it?
No, it's mine.
Jeez.
Can drink a little coffee?
All right, whatever.
You can see it. Here. It's cute.
That's great.
You know what they should make is slime ornaments.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's a good idea. Maybe we should make our own slime ornaments this year.
Now this You might be wondering why I have Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for the Nintendo Entertainment System here. So I found this incredible... What'd you say?
I don't want that.
I found this incredible retro gaming store that had everything. Like, again, like, this is American. Like, why did they have this in Taiwan? This guy had an incredible NES that
And you said that person spoke a bit of English as well, so you were able to chat him up a little bit?
I was complimenting him to no end. He seemed quite pleased with himself as I was just singing his praises.
That's great.
But look at that.
This is in really good condition.
Great condition.
I thought that everything that you saw in that store was so pristine and beautiful. Yeah.
And he also had these weird like display items from Japan that I had never seen before. He had
literally decorating the set as we speak.
CRT TVs.
There was like that weird triangle radio doohickey
what is this?
I didn't know what that was.
Stuff I had never seen before.
But
of course, I stopped at the gotcha machines.
We
got Kirby with, how do you open this?
Oh, there we go.
Kirby with a gun.
Kirby with a gun?
Yeah,
oh my!
That's from Kirby Forgotten Land.
Oh, yeah, right? A little, like a little pistol. That's so cute.
And then this is also Kirby. You can have this too. This is like a little tote bag thing. This is not the one I wanted. I wanted the all pink one, but oh well.
Oh, this is cute.
You get what you get.
The gotcha machines are like next level in Asian.
Yeah.
In Asian malls.
There you go.
Okay, it has like a little.
So you can store your whatever in there.
You can put your Kirby inside.
Whole lot of whatever.
You can put your Kirby right inside this little bag.
That's right.
Cute.
So I feel like I cracked the code on this. I had a lot of fun making the vlog. Thank you for putting it together. As the wonderful editor on this video.
Yes.
And yeah, you should all check it out if you haven't. It's up on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We are also making a big leap in social media to Threads. We are on Threads. If you have not seen us, you may be there as well. Now, apparently, there's 100 million people, as declared.
I guess by the Zuck.
Zuck himself before the Zuck Elon Musk cage match happens in real life.
That's the thing. You fight to see who gets to keep it. Fight to the death.
So Mark Zuckerberg he's
training,
been learning like jujitsu or something.
Yeah, but then Elon Musk is like taller, no?
Well, we've seen the pictures. He's not in the best shape.
He's not in the best shape though.
But okay, the thing is, so they'll share like, oh, Mark Zuckerberg was at so and so location doing this cage match. And I'm like, that is extremely close to where I live. Like these are all in my neighborhood. Like I could show up on like a Friday night
and just watch him train and
get in a cage match with Zuck myself.
You want to get in a cage match?
Maybe I could be the victor of this.
You get your butt kicked.
And then what would happen if I took down both of them? Would I get the billions of dollars?
You can get the.
Could I wager?
Could you just take over as both?
I could put down an Alexander Hamilton, and they could put down $100 billion, and that could be the wager.
You could just become the new owner of Threads and Twitter if you beat them both in a cage match.
I don't want it.
If you kick both their butts, you take both of their things.
That might be in my future.
It's like the playground rule.
Yeah.
If I win, I take your stuff.
Okay. Anyhow, we are both there. Again, you may be there as well. You should check us out. We're still on Twitter.
Yes.
We're going to see what happens there, but we're just kind of hedging our bets.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun before Facebook like ruins Threads. Enjoy it while it's pure and simple and not garbage, because the rest of that is hot garbage. So it's nice. Like right now it's very like there's no weird like promoted stuff. You're following people that you probably followed on Instagram.
Well, I am getting a lot of just like the random Facebook memesters that I don't follow just like in my feed.
Oh, I don't have that.
Like I don't want this.
I don't have that.
You had this oh you just slacked off for 3 weeks. I sent you a text message while I was in Taiwan. So I think we need to get on this Threads thing. You're like, what are you talking about?
Yes.
I was like, the new social media thing. You're like, oh, Blue Sky? Threads! Get on it! Sign up now.
Okay.
Who's slacking off now?
I don't really like it. I mean, I don't really like social media. I shouldn't really be saying this. But you are much more a lover of social media than I am. I'm more like, I guess I have to, so I'll do it.
Oh, gosh.
But I'm like, I could take it or leave it. One day, when I retire, I'll just like fall off the grid and delete all the channels, and it'll be great.
Well, you won't have access to those channels anymore.
My own channels.
That's all been revoked.
My own channels.
Oh, well, nobody will notice.
Exactly. It would be great. Fall into anonymity.
Anonymity?
Anonymity. Oh boy. But anyways, threads. Threads though.
Yes. We hinted at last week at some new stuff coming to our Patreon, which we can talk about now.
Oh yes.
So there is a new feature, which is, I don't think it's been rolled out to everybody. Patreon is great at putting us in these little test groups. We love that.
Patreon ambassadors, which is very much a privilege because we get to know like what things they're testing. So they give us like beta access to stuff, which is kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So now in addition to the, ongoing subscription that you can and should sign up for, they now have like a shop feature where you can get things kind of individually.
Yeah, like one-off things.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have been thinking about how we can use that. We have a few things that are up on patreon.com/KitandKrysta that you can check out. Something akin to a cameo, if you would. If you would like us to make you
a video.
A custom video, we would be glad to do that. You can do that. As a one-off thing
on
our Patreon
shop.
Right.
It's fun. Yeah. We also have this really fun like heart-to-heart thing if you want to just like hang out with us and spend some time with us, or if you want us to give you like any, people have asked like, will you give us like career advice or whatever? Like, yeah, we're happy to do that. But yeah, check it out. It's actually a really cool feature. We're glad to be testing it out early for Patreon. As you guys know, everything on this channel is supported by our wonderful Patreon family. So if you're able to support us on patreon.com/KitandKrysta, that's awesome. We have tons of different tiers available, but if you want to just do a one-off thing to support us that way, that's now available too, which is really great.
That's right.
Yeah.
You should say that this feature is only available on
the
desktop version so far. So if you're looking on your phone and say, where is this? It's actually not there yet.
If you go on the desktop version, there is a little toggle that says shop.
Yes.
And you can click through to that. But you don't see it anywhere else because it's still in beta right now.
Right.
So, anyways.
So we'll probably be adding more to that in the future as we just kind of figure out what it's good for and how it all works. But yeah, there's a couple of things now that you might want to check out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we want to get into, we didn't do, when we were doing these remote episodes, we didn't do Storytime, we didn't do Never a Minute.
I know.
We got packed. This show is so packed.
We're going to be here for a while.
Packed.
Get comfy.
We're going to go past your pee break limit.
I peed right before this. So good.
Okay, great update.
FYI.
But anyhow, before we get into all that, we have to thank our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by HelloFresh.
Yum.
HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit.
Was this clutch for you when you came back from your trip?
Perfect.
Wasn't this
perfect for a guy like me?
I was
a little bit jet lagged and trying to make sense of my new life back in America.
Yeah, and also you probably didn't go grocery shopping for 3 weeks because you were away.
My refrigerator was empty.
Fair. That's good because you don't want like food going bad.
Exactly.
So schedule a wonderful HelloFresh delivery for when you get back from a long vacation.
Yes.
Everyone's traveling for summer. HelloFresh has such great recipes that are all chef crafted. They're seasonal. It's really good too. So great way to not waste anything, keep it affordable, and easy for you when you come back from a long trip.
Yes, you get exactly the ingredients you need to make these great items. They all come together really quickly, and like you said, they taste delicious.
Yes.
And there is such a great variety. Every week there are over 40 recipes to choose from, so you never get into your so-called
food rut,
cooking
the dreaded
food rut, which you tell me that you're in all the time.
I hate the food rut.
And I tell you, just get on the HelloFresh. They'll fix that for you.
They have all the good summer recipes right now for grilling and for summer barbecues. So yes, it is a good time over there.
So go to hellofresh.com/KitKrysta50 and use code KitKrysta50 for 50% off plus free shipping. I repeat, go to hellofresh.com/KitKrysta50 and use code KitKrysta50 for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit.
Yum. Yum, yum, yum. The link is here and in the description below.
All right, Storytime is
Nintendo
about
cover your ears.
This great Nintendo Minute lore, so we actually talked about this briefly in our Discord, and we found out not a lot of people knew about this.
Yes.
So we thought, well, this is a good thing to talk about in depth in the podcast.
Right.
But there was a very brief period of time where we actually did a written blog.
Yes.
On the
Tumblr,
Nintendo of America Tumblr.
Right. This was back in, what year was this?
Well, this is back before Tumblr completely
imploded.
Fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was maybe like 2017.
I was going to say, 2017, 2018. We both really do like to write, I think, and we wanted to find a fun way to just have like another like offshoot, I guess, of Nintendo Minute. We were doing the videos weekly at this point. We were thinking about too, like, does it make sense to give Nintendo Minute like a landing page, like a homepage,
right,
where people could see like all the episodes, maybe what's upcoming. But we also, it was important to us, as with all Nintendo Minute things and all things now, is like we want to keep it very personal, very conversational. So we were thinking about what is the best way to do that. And we actually landed on this blog. And this is back, guys, before you come at us, blogging was very popular back then, okay? Not like we're old and boring, but this was a popular thing to do.
Yeah, and Nintendo had started its presence on Tumblr, and there was some cool stuff there. Like, that's where the old Splatoon Squid Research Lab was headquartered. That was sort of the premier piece of content that they had there. But yeah, they were always looking for other stuff for that platform as well. So it kind of made sense of like, yeah, we need the content. You guys can do this. Like, I think we did it like once a week or so.
Yeah.
We decided that we would do sort of a weekly blog, kind of in the Nintendo Minute style, very informal, but very, plugged into what's happening around Nintendo. And it felt to us like a great supplement to the videos that we were doing as well. So we actually had a really interesting way of writing these.
Yeah, we wanted to write them sort of as close to how we would shoot a Nintendo Minute as possible, which is unscripted, conversational, just like a conversation between me and Kit. And we were already doing this a lot at work, is we were using like GChat to chat throughout the day when we were at work at Nintendo. So we were like, instead of writing it in a traditional way, writing a blog like in a very sort of third voice kind of way, why don't we just chat each other on GChat and then just copy and paste that, edit that, and make that
would be
the blog.
Right.
Which was really cool and fun. So we would literally be like chatting normally throughout the day, and then be like, okay, you ready to write this blog? And then we would start like a new line that was like, and the blog starts now. And then we would chat like for I don't know how long, right?
Yeah.
About a topic.
Yeah. And it ended up being a really efficient way to do it, because just like with the videos, like we didn't really have to do much editing. I mean, it's like fix a typo here or there.
Right.
It was just like some small formatting stuff. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, a blog is usually something like one person is writing, so it could have been kind of cumbersome to be like, I'll email you the first part and then you do the other part.
Yeah, or like you edit this. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. So that ended up being a perfect way to put this thing together and get it to feel right in the tone. And we were pretty happy with the output. And again, it was like, yeah, this totally fits into what Tumblr is for. But not everybody agreed. Not
everybody agreed. I feel like with all Nintendo Minute things back in those days, and even up till when we left, it was sort of like, this is an extra part of your job. Not even part of your job. This is like an extra thing that you're doing on top of your, quote, real job. And you need to be focused on doing your real job and not making videos and writing blogs. Like, you should just be doing your work as, a PR person or a social media person or whatever. So I think that it was very much like, well, if there's something that has to go, this will be an easy thing to cut off your plate.
But there was also a lot of feedback, because again, like at this point in social media, it was like, well, people want viral videos and they want a video that's like super fast so it can be shareable and snackable.
The snackable.
The super like barf-worthy terms.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
true.
on Nintendo Minute, we would get like, well, what if you actually made it a minute? What if you made it 10 seconds? What if you made it 0.0001 seconds? That would be way more snackable than something that's
10
minutes or so.
A blog that's like,
which, if you had ever actually seen an episode, you would know that was like a ridiculous thing to ask. But yeah, that was the feedback that we got on this, was like, well, it's fine, but like, what if you made this like 2 sentences long?
Well, what's the point then?
And it's like, well, have you ever seen a blog that's 2 sentences long?
Yeah.
And at what point is there no point to us doing this.
Yeah. Oftentimes that kind of feedback was from people that were not really ingrained in the actual, like, you know, making of videos or writing of blogs. It's like they probably saw some headline from some news article that's like...
Or they got some newsletter, email newsletter. Like, oh my gosh.
And it's like 10 viral tricks for communication people. And it's like, number 1, viral videos. Number 2, snackable content. You know, like it's like that kind of stuff versus it being like, hey, are you really understanding how people consume information and like how this stuff actually comes together? So it was challenging because it's like when you're in it, it's really hard to fight that battle with someone that just totally has this very cursory knowledge of how any of this stuff works. And so, yeah, I think we just basically stopped doing it.
Yeah, we did a handful and then like we kept getting that feedback and it was like, you know, maybe we just stick to the video thing. Because at that point we were not involved in social media. So we were like we didn't really have a lot of pushback. So we just kind of stopped doing it. Eventually we became the social media team. But
then blogs were like not a thing anymore.
And at that point, Tumblr had completely atrophied into basically nothing.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo still has their Tumblr. They just don't really post.
Right. We used to post like Animal Crossing
anything
stuff
there?
On there too.
Yeah.
The Animal Crossing.
But it completely fell off. So
yeah, we used to have.
It is what it is. Who knows? Maybe someday some sort of written thing will re-emerge for us. But we had a good time doing it for the couple weeks or month or so that we did it.
I think this is good practice for something in the future.
All right.
That's what I'll say about that.
Back to G-Chat?
We do G-Chat now.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, all right.
We do G-Chat we've been doing G-Chat forever. I like G-Chat. It's good stuff.
I love G-Chat.
I like to chat.
Yeah. All right. That is the story time. We had to bump the other story time that we had scheduled, which involved me vomiting.
That's next week.
Because again, we had something very topical with social media.
Yeah, so everything is you know, the social media is a hot topic this week with the threads and stuff.
The story of me vomiting will probably be next week.
Yes.
Unless something else happens.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
This is the great thing about next week's episode is that you are not going to be involved in the planning of it at all.
I'm not available.
Because you're going to be off in the woods, unavailable, off the grid, getting eaten by a bear.
Okay.
I'm going to have this whole episode planned to myself, so...
It better be a story about you vomiting.
Yeah. But what else will be there? We're going to find out. Never a minute. All right. We have been teasing this for several weeks as something we need to do, not just for the podcast, but for our own mental planning and mental fortitude.
Every time I look at this list, I swear I get like heart palpitations.
So we came up with a list of games that are coming out from now till the end of the year.
It's a lot.
There's 2 games that have already come out and 1 game that actually comes out early next year.
Yeah.
How many games are here? Like 30? I'd say like, what are you doing?
I'm going to number it.
Oh. But I think there's about 30-ish. 31 games. Wow, that was pretty good by me. 31 games. And we are going to declare whether each
I do declare.
Day 1. We're in on day 1. A maybe. A backlog. Or just a flat out skip it. And... Again, this is from July to the end of the year. 30 games.
31 games.
So I think we have...
Oh, wait. There's 1 in January.
Yeah, right. So I think we have games that are the quote, like, big games that everybody agrees, like, oh, yeah, these are the big games. And then we do have some other games that are just kind of, you know, maybe a bit smaller, but of interest to us.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that you all might have another game that, you know, is on your radar that we don't have. Sorry about that. But maybe you can play along or share in our dread about the rest of the year. But let's go ahead and just get started. We're going to go game by game. Again, we have 2 that are already out that I guess are already, day 1 and maybe are already off the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor came out April 28th.
Right.
My big debate was when I get back, am I playing this or Final Fantasy? Spoiler for games we're playing, I'm playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
So
this is backlog.
I feel strongly that I need to play this game this year to be prepared for Game of the Year conversations.
Okay.
So
backlogged until later this year.
I guess but it's like a short-term backlog.
Yeah.
Because some of these I'm going to say backlog, and it's like I may never actually. I'll buy it, but I may never actually play it.
No, you can't do that.
Why not? It's my backlog. I'll do my backlog the way I want.
I'm skipping this one.
Fine. Diablo 4.
We decided collectively that this was going to be a backlog.
I gotta say, I'm extremely concerned about our time with Diablo 4.
Why? We can play this one next.
I don't know.
Why can't we play this one after Final Fantasy?
Well, maybe after we complete this exercise, we can talk about that.
You said you wanted to play this game with me.
I do, but I'm just like, oh gosh.
I put backlog, but also
Fine.
like short backlog because I was thinking like after you got back, we could find some time to play.
Okay.
It looks so good.
Fine. Next up is a game that is coming out. Actually, this is out by the time this podcast is out. Is Oxenfree 2, July 12th.
Day 1.
Really?
Well, I'll be in the woods.
You will not have any internet access, so it
maybe
literally cannot be day 1.
Day 3.
I'm gonna put this in the.
I love this game. I can't wait to play this game. I wish this game came out like. Wait, what day is it coming out? It's
July
coming out
12th, which is Wednesday.
Oh, perfect! I can download it before I leave for my big trip.
Okay.
So maybe I can play this in the woods. It might be a little scary, but you know, it could be fun.
I'm honestly gonna put this in skip for now, just because I like the first game.
How dare you? It's so short, though.
It is a little bit short, but I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like I need to act prudently with my list here. We just be like, day 1 for everything.
I said skip
everything
already.
Everything is great. I'm gonna play it all. I'm gonna love it all. I'm gonna beat it all. Platinum every game.
I can. I have time. I got time, people.
All right. Next up, we have Exoprimal, which is July 14th. Wow. Wow, that's also this week?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I won't be here, but the ex Nintendo friends.
Yes.
United.
Yes.
We have a special group of friends that were all of our old Nintendo coworkers. Everyone has said they want to play Exoprimal as the next group game, so we have to play it.
Yeah, so this is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So we maybe need a dabble category because I'm going to put this in a dabble category.
I think this is a dabble.
Yeah.
Because we're going to play with our friends.
Right.
But it's not going to be like every night play Exoprimal.
Exactly.
You know?
So, yeah, I feel good about that.
Yeah.
You know, not taking time away from other stuff that I really want to focus on.
But it's fun to play like little bursts, like an hour or so with your friends and just chat and have fun, and you know that we did it with Sea of Thieves. Mm-hmm. We do it with like, you know, Rocket League, like that kind of stuff. It's gonna be like one of those games, which is great.
Okay, then we have Viewfinder, which is a game that you already have a code for.
I have a code.
Have you played it?
I played like the first hour.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Good.
But I don't know if I can continue because I'll be gone.
Well, you can continue when you get back.
That's true. I can continue
if the bear doesn't get you first.
Maybe the bear gets me, and then there's no Viewfinder.
I watched Cocaine Bear on the plane back, so I have bear stuff on my mind.
I'm gonna get eaten by a bear.
I think it's gonna be bad for you in the woods.
I'm gonna be playing Oxenfree 2, and I'm gonna get eaten by a bear.
Oh no, that could be scary to play
scary in the woods.
In a remote location.
I'll have the doggies with me though; they'll protect me. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
So this is I don't think it's a day 1 for me.
Yeah.
I think it's a straight to backlog, but I really do want to play this game.
Yeah. The first hour is quite good, and it is cool to get a bit more than the demos that we've been playing.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah. Might and Magic Clash of Heroes, July 20th. Wow, this is a lot of games coming out in like a week. Jeez.
No.
So this is a game that this is a remake of a DS game that I really like.
Yeah, this is a good game.
I don't know when I'm going to be getting to this though. This is a straight to backlog.
I think I
want to buy it, but put it in the backlog.
Yeah, this is a good game though.
Yeah,
it's a very good game.
July 21st. So this is kind of the end of this like next week-ish.
Yeah.
Pikmin 4, big one here.
Skip.
Just a full-on skip.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I finished the demo.
People were not happy with what you had to say about Pikmin last week.
It's just not my jam, guys. I'm sorry.
And even though I said I really liked the demo and it really increased my impression of Pikmin, people said I was very negative on it too.
I think we were being very positive on Pikmin. I think for people that love Pikmin, I think it's great for you.
What?
Play it, enjoy, please. I welcome the Pikmin fans. I still really love Pikmin, but it's just the gameplay is not for me. So I think I'm gonna skip it.
I'm putting this in the maybe category because I'm not going to be done with Final Fantasy in 10 days.
No, not at all.
And
not even close.
I don't feel like some of these other smaller indie games, like I like to just buy them to backlog them immediately.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to forget about those.
Yeah, but this is a big game. You can play this later.
I will come back to this probably later when I have the proper time.
Totally.
Disney Illusion Island.
Day 1.
July 28th.
You have to play this with me also.
Is this a local multiplayer game?
Yes, it is.
Then I'm probably going to put it in skip for me because I'll play on your system.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You can play with me.
Okay.
I want you to play this game because I think you will really like it.
Great.
I
Then
think
we
you
will.
and I will have fun.
Then
we
we
can
will.
do like a little video for it or something.
Then we will.
That'll be fun.
July 31st, Venba.
Day 1.
Which is a game that we saw at an Xbox event.
Day
We're
1.
actually doing something for this game this week as well to see a little bit more.
This is another one of those games that's seemingly pretty short.
Yes.
And also a game that if it's a game that I can multitask with another game. Like I played Ghost Trick and Final Fantasy at the same time. Like I was good with that. So like I could definitely play Venba and something else at the same time.
So it's July 10th right now. So this is 3 weeks from now. I could presumably be done with Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy I found is actually not that long.
The main storyline is not that long.
So I could possibly be done with Final Fantasy
But you
by
could
then.
easily multitask
But
that.
I might want to get into Viewfinder. See some of these back.
You can play both of those at the same time.
Viewfinder and Venba.
Yeah, why not? Like play Venba like for 30 minutes before you go to bed, and then play Viewfinder.
I'm just gonna say backlog.
Day 1. I want to eat the Indian food that's in the.
So after this, there is a blissful respite.
Yeah, where you can catch up.
Is this right?
Yeah.
I feel like we might have missed something because our next game is not until August 22nd. It's like 3 weeks after.
Well, you said you looked at this.
Which is Immortals of Avium. I got to admit, I don't know what this game is. What game is this?
Seems very popular.
What is this?
I don't know. I just
What? Then why is it on the list?
It looks like a huge game, but I don't really want to play it. So I said backlog.
Is this the one from Summer Game Fest where it's the guy that talked to the hand game?
That talked to the hand.
Oh, well then why didn't you say that?
Oh, I don't know.
You did know what this is. You're lying to me.
Power of is that one?
Yes, this is the one.
Talk to the hand, right?
Talk to the hand.
Yeah, that game.
Yes, it's that. Skip. Hard skip. Yeah. What?
It could be kind of fun. Is it on Game Pass?
I don't think so.
Then,
well, it is an EA game. EA games do eventually come to Game Pass.
I'll try it if it's on Game Pass.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you really that interested in this?
I want to talk to the hand.
I don't think he's going to say that.
I know, but the magic looks fun.
If it comes out that is said in that game, I might completely flip on this.
Day 1. Armor Core.
Okay, I'm actually feeling a little bit better that there's this 3-week break between Venba and that, and this game that I'm not even going to play. Next is a big one, Armored Core 4.
Yeah.
So you have been
I'm so curious
excited about
this
this game.
I'm really excited. I want to see what this is about. I've never played any Armored Core games. I hear from a lot of people that this is like a very intricate,
crunchy.
Yeah.
Super crunchy, tinkery.
Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna day 1 check it out for sure. Yeah,
I think this is a skip for me because I'm familiar with Armored Core, and from the previews I've seen so far, unless something completely changes, it seems to be like this is an Armored Core game, and it's like I'm okay. I feel like I have a solid handle on what that is.
Okay.
And it's not super for me. So okay.
Oh. The next one.
Next one. What, you did not have this on your list. This was one of the big omissions from your first draft. Sea of Stars, August 29th.
I still haven't played that demo yet, even though I said I was gonna.
1 week before Starfield. This game comes out.
I can't play this game before Starfield.
Can you beat this game in a week? Probably not.
This is like a big game. This is like a big RPG.
This is probably a pretty big RPG.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Backlog.
Straight to backlog?
Yeah. I kind of want to play that demo though in the midst of this break that we have.
Well, let's think about this now. Jeez.
Right?
I feel like by then, I'm going to say this is day 1 for me.
Really?
Because I think I'm going to want to get into this.
I might be playing Armored Core.
And I might be hitting like pause on that, depending on how much I get into Starfield, which is our next game, September 6th, which is also day 1 for me.
Obviously day 1.
I just need to know what this game is. I'm so curious about this game.
Everyone needs to know.
I'm so curious.
And if it sucks us in, if it's like, remember what happened to Elden Ring, where I was like, okay, fine, I'll just play this game for an hour, I'll be fine. I'll just check it out, that's it. And then I was playing that game for like 7 months.
Starfield could blow up the whole rest of your year. Like, we're not even to like deep holiday yet here.
I know, it could be over for me
Right, this is like the start of, this is like the Madden.
September 6th, it could be over
Where was Madden on this list, bro? Where was it?
I mean, are you
Come on, bro, where was Madden?
Call of Duty? COD? Where's COD?
Well, people would say like Madden is when the holiday season begins.
COD.
COD has not been announced.
COD.
That's a big hanging
COD is being announced tomorrow.
hanging COD.
You're a hanging COD.
But yes,
Anyways,
Starfield is day one.
Day one.
Now this next game, I was shocked to learn this was coming out the same day.
Also, did you know about the bear in this game?
I heard about the bear.
Did you hear about the bear?
Not to be confused with the
cocaine bear.
The cocaine
that
bear.
could be a cocaine bear.
Baldur's Gate 3, September 6th also. This is like a game of chicken. They should move this game out of the way. Oh my god.
They're not gonna.
Why?
They already came out with the bear news. They're not gonna.
Why are they doing this?
They're not gonna.
Get out of the way.
The bear won't let you get out of anybody's way.
Oh my gosh.
The bear is here to stay.
I've actually never played a Baldur's Gate game.
Me neither. I don't really know what it is. So skip.
I was like, who's the studio that's making this? And I looked it up. And I actually do have a pretty good pedigree. There's just not one that I was familiar with. This is a skip for me as well. I don't have the time, and also like I don't know enough about Baldur's Gate. Maybe this gets great word of mouth, and I'll come back to it later. But for now, it's a skip.
I mean, the bear though.
Enough about the bear. I don't care.
You do care.
I don't care.
You do.
Next, this hurts. Fae Farm, September 8th.
Day one.
2 days after Starfield.
I can play this. I can multitask.
Can you though?
I can multitask.
Like
this.
we came away from Summer Game Fest shocked at how big this game
But
is.
I can play this in bed, and I can't play Starfield in bed.
Why not?
Because
Stream it.
no, I want to play that on the big screen. That's gonna be like beautiful to look at. So I'll just be playing Starfield.
I have to say day one for I'm committed.
Be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Nighttime, like my gaming after dinner gaming, like the 3 hours I have after dinner to game is gonna be Starfield, and then like all the rest of the time, in the daytime or like when I'm in bed on the weekends, like that will be Fae Farm.
I made a promise to Fae Farm underneath the bleachers that I would play it day one, so I'm gonna stick to that.
Give it a promise ring.
Fae Farm's waiting for me when I get back.
Aww.
Oh, jeez, it just gets worse from here. Mortal Kombat 1, September 19th.
Day one.
Oh my god.
That's fine, because you can dabble this one.
You're not being honest with yourself.
Yes, I am.
You're being a great big liar right now.
You can dabble this one.
Now you're dabbling like 19 games at once.
Not.
You are.
I'm dabbling by
You're still going to be dabbling Venba at this point.
No, Venba will be done by then.
You will be. Yeah, we'll be in September by then.
Yeah. I'll be dabbling Mortal Kombat instead of Exo Primal. That's what I'm sure that's what everyone's going to want to play. Mortal Kombat. Group hang.
We have yet to have a maybe. I'm going to put a maybe on Mortal Kombat. I can't believe I just said that. But I'm starting to feel real nervous right now. Okay, I'm going to feel better after this next one. Lies of Peace, skip. September 19th, same day.
Skip.
People seem into this game though.
I'm too scared to play.
I'm just not.
I'm too scared.
I
can't do puppets.
I'm not seeing it.
I can't do puppets and I can't do Pikmin.
Why is it Pinocchio?
I don't know.
Why? I don't get
know.
it.
Pinocchio.
Is this like the creepy like Winnie the Pooh thing that's like
I don't like that either.
Public domain now? What's the deal? Oh, it gets worse. Oh my god.
Day one, Cyberpunk.
You are such a liar.
How can I not play? This is fine.
I am holding you to this. That you need to not be saying day one to all these other things. Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty DLC, September 26th. It has to be day one.
It has to be day one. But that must be short.
I will put down Starfield for this.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know it's short? You don't know anything about this.
It's gonna
we
be
didn't get to play it. We weren't invited.
It's going to be like 2 hours. I'll be fine.
You got the stink eye from the Polish people.
I know. I should have
They were not happy with you filming off the screen.
They said 19 seconds only, and that's what I did.
They told you to...
a few seconds.
They told you to beat it.
A few
Hit the bricks.
This is where it gets really dicey.
Well...
This is where it gets dicey. Really bad.
So Assassin's Creed Mirage is October
day one,
13th.
Obviously.
No, it's not day one.
Well, you Thanksgiving game? Are you Thanksgiving game?
Yeah, so we have the great tradition, the Thanksgiving game and the Christmas game over those holidays.
Are you going to Thanksgiving game Assassin's Creed, or are you going to Thanksgiving game Super Mario RPG, though?
So
that's the problem.
So let me just look ahead here.
That's the problem. That's my problem.
I'm sticking to what I said about this game. I'm putting this in a maybe.
I can't believe you.
I'm still not
You're
feeling
a
super great about this game for some reason.
I feel good about this game. I feel really good.
Just like
it's gonna be fun.
Just like you feel good about day oneing like 19 games leading up to this. You're such a liar.
I don't need to sleep.
You're a huge liar.
I don't need to sleep at all. Wait, we missed. Okay, wait, hold on. Yes.
We didn't miss anything.
Day one. Yes, Assassin's Creed.
Okay. Next, October 17th, mere days later, Alan Wake 2.
Backlog.
This is, I think, a skip for me.
Okay. I'm gonna backlog this one.
I'm just not super familiar with this series for some reason.
Yeah, I like this
And
series.
I don't want to get too close at this point. I'm keeping my distance because I made the promise to Fae Farm underneath the bleachers.
Okay, fine.
On a starry night.
Fine. You Fae Farm can do
I'll be
whatever
there for
you
you.
want.
Yes.
Whatever you want.
Okay, this is next one gets easier. Oh, this is a TBC date. This has actually not been. This is rumored. This has not been confirmed. But same day, October 17th, Sonic Superstars. See you later. Nope.
Oh, I guess.
Is it anything else for you?
I guess not.
I mean, if it is, then spit it out.
No.
Day one.
Skip it. I'm complacent about it. I'm complacent about it.
Next, again, mere days later. Oh, I thought we just had one day a week when games came out. It was like Tuesday, games come out. Now it's like every day a week there's a new game coming out. This isn't helping. Hot Wheels TurboCharged, October 19th. We just talked about how much we liked this game last week.
I know, but I have to backlog this, I think. Sorry.
This is another dabbler game, potentially,
yeah.
but
will you be dabbling? Oh, you skip Mortal Kombat. I think I might be still dabbling Mortal Kombat at this point.
I'm probably going to agree with you with backlog.
Yeah.
Oh my! Are you joking me?
I know this is a tough one.
The next. Okay, I'm glad I put that in backlog. The next day, Spider-Man 2. No, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder, October 20th.
Day one for both.
Jeez.
Day one for both.
No.
Yes. Why can't you play both at the same day?
I am gonna say Spider-Man 2 will be my
Christmas
Thanksgiving game.
Oh.
Well.
No, you've messed.
Well,
hold
on.
You've messed this up big time. Your life is ruined.
What day is Thanksgiving?
November.
It's like 25th or something. I'm sticking to my guns on that.
You're not.
And I'll explain why later.
You're gonna be sorry.
I will explain why later.
You're gonna be sorry.
Zip it. I'll explain why later.
Sorry.
So Super Mario Wonders is day one.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 for you is day one.
Yes.
And for me is backlogged to Thanksgiving.
Okay. Fine.
Next. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, October 24th.
Skip.
Just a flat-out skip?
Yeah.
What is I actually don't know your history with Metal Gear Solid.
I've played a couple of them.
Which ones have you played?
One,
okay.
maybe two.
Have you played 3?
I think so.
Where he's in the jungle?
Yes.
That one's real good.
That one is good, but I don't need to play it again right now.
This is one that I will buy it day one just to backlog it immediately.
Okay.
So that's kind of a combo. Next, WarioWare Move It.
This could be a dabble.
Well, the last WarioWare game wasn't great.
No.
I think we should be honest about like the state of the WarioWare series.
I want to love them because I still have such fond memories of the Game Boy
right.
versions and the DS versions. But could this be cute? Like, could it be fun for like a?
I could see us like getting it for a video or for like a meetup, but yeah. I don't see myself like playing this a lot outside of that.
I mean, like you have people over.
Yeah.
You know, to play this game. It'd be cute.
I mean, it's close. It's honestly closer to a skip for me than anything else.
That's fine.
But I probably will end up with it.
You'll probably buy it though. You probably have it
somehow. For professional reasons, as a tax write-off.
To wiggle. For professional wiggles.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you bought Everybody Wants to Switch? Did you buy that while I was gone?
I need to buy that.
Did you buy it?
For our meetup next month.
Next week?
This month.
Oh, no.
I didn't buy it yet, but I should.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Man! November 9th, Like a Dragon Gaiden. That's actually not the full name. What's the full game?
I don't know.
This is what you wrote down. Why did you write down not the full game?
Like a
Anyhow, that comes out November 9th. Oh, man.
What is the full name?
So that's another great contender.
The Man Who Erased His Face.
Okay.
Gotta backlog this one, sorry.
Could that be your Thanksgiving game?
No, my Thanksgiving game is Super Mario RPG.
Again, I'll explain the facts about that in just a moment, but... Oh, boy.
So
what am I going to be playing by then? Oh, so Mario 1... Okay, so this is still...
You're playing Mario Wonder, but Mario Wonder,
those games you can beat really fast.
That's why I think you should play Spider-Man.
So then I have...
You're not going to play Spider-Man?
I might be getting back to Starfield.
Or what about Assassin's Creed?
Or...
Mortal Kombat?
All those Like a Dragon games are pretty long.
I know. That's why I have to back.
I kind of want to find out more about... I kind of feel like I know mostly nothing about this game right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm putting this in just the very vague...
Like maybe pile? You know it's going to be good, though. You know it's going to be good.
I think we'll probably get a code for this.
They're always
so
good.
At a minimum, I'm hedging my bets. I'm just saying backlog. Straight to backlog.
Yeah, I have to backlog this, I think.
Persona 5 Tactica, November 17th, skip.
Backlog.
I'm sorry. Well, you already have a Persona game. There should be a law against how many Persona games in the same series you have in your backlog.
Why? I can backlog
because you're a fraud. You're a fraud.
You said that you can backlog however much games you want and however you do want to do it. Why can't I just do it my way?
Fine.
You don't know anything about me.
I don't care. Okay, here we have to have a talk about this. Mario RPG, November 17th. So let me look at the calendar. When is that? Because that's a week prior to Black Friday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so November 23rd is Thanksgiving. November 24th is Black Friday.
I'm just gonna play that game.
So here's something that you would know if you played Super Mario RPG.
Is it long?
It's very short.
Oh.
This is the thing you didn't know. You assume like, oh, it's an RPG, it's gotta be long. Now, unless they have padded this or added something new, we're talking like under 20 hours. Huh. So, here's me point. You could finish.
Here's me point.
You could finish this game in a week.
Great, that's why I can play during Thanksgiving.
And still say, I'm preserving Spider-Man as my Thanksgiving week game. Like I might be in the back half of that weekend, but I think I can do it.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay. Thankfully, December is very light.
Yeah, this is where you catch up.
As always happens,
people want to get all your stuff.
People want to get the games out before Black Friday, so we have Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince, December 1st. I think that's a skip for me as well. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, December 7th, easy skip, and that's kind of it.
That's it
for the year.
Yeah.
Which is great because...
That's when you catch up on your backlog.
No, it's because we have to do like a Game of the Year podcast at some point in December.
So you catch up.
And I'm not going to have what happened to me last year with the Little Gator game. Little Gator game snuck in like at the last second in December.
Yes.
And would have been on my top 10 list.
But it wasn't because it was not there.
We recorded that podcast. You forced me to record this podcast.
You have to record the podcast at some point in December. Yes, that is actually what needs to happen. That's how time and calendars work, you see. Don't get mad at me.
And then we have the one January game, which is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Yes, day one.
Yeah, I think by then we'll be
good.
Back on.
I think I can do this.
Remember January this year? There was nothing for the first month and a half.
We were forced to play Fire Emblem because we were bored.
Yeah, we're like, boy, 2023 is gonna suck.
And then we ended up with this situation.
So that's the list.
That's
31
the list.
games.
What did we miss?
So you are day one-ing 31 games. Congratulations.
Yes, great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun.
Every game except for Pikmin 4, you have day one.
I played the demo.
Why are you a hater?
I'm not a hater. I played the demo. I tried.
This is going to be a bloodbath unlike any other year, I feel.
Yeah. Not only are there a sheer just amount of games is overwhelming, it's the scale of each of these games. That's the part that really freaks me out.
So many of these are just like 100-hour games.
Yeah, they're all like these huge open world, yeah, exactly. These big chunky games. They're not like your 2-hour game or 20, even a 20-hour game I would take at this point.
This is where I really need to reinforce my own personal thing, which is like, if a game is not doing it for you, you just gotta cut it and move on. Cut it and move on. Like, none of this like, oh, well, I'll give it another 10 hours.
Yeah.
It's like, no, just
or like when you talk to somebody, they're like, don't worry, it really gets good at like hour 30. You're like,
sounds great, I'll never play it.
I'm not making it to hour 30, guys. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, I think this is good. It's like, you have to give it a very strict, like, try it for a couple of hours. If it doesn't jive with you, just move on. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to stick with your own like gaming instincts here because there's just too many.
So we have made our legally binding commitments to each of these games. I want you to now tell me what 3 games on this list are you most hyped for?
Okay.
For the year.
I am definitely most hyped for Spider-Man. Super Mario RPG, and hold on, I'm trying to see. I'm pretty excited about Super Mario Wonder too, but let me pick a different one. That's not a Nintendo.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
It's too many Mario games.
Well, people like Mario.
Fae Farm. Fae Farm, Spider-Man, Super Mario RPG.
Mine are Cyberpunk, Mario RPG, and Mario Wonder. Those are my 3.
Yeah. I mean, Mario Wonder is going to be awesome. I know it. But I'm just excited to play Mario RPG because I haven't played that game. So it'll be like a new game for me. That's going to be really cool.
You're going to love that game.
I think I'm going to have so much fun. Yeah.
So where are we playing Diablo 4 now?
When are you going to be done with Final Fantasy?
Well, now wait. We had this big gap in...
end of July.
Where was that?
Beginning of August.
Beginning of August. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, I could definitely have finished Final Fantasy by then.
Yeah.
So until... I'm pretty good for like almost all of August.
See?
So we could fit Diablo into that.
Exactly.
Well, too bad you're going to be...
I'm going to be
on
playing...
your 8th playthrough of Oxenfree 2.
I'm going to play Oxenfree in like 2 days. And then I'm going to finish Viewfinder. You and I are going to dabble and play a little Disney Illusion Island. We're both going to play Vemba. That's a short game. And then August will be free. That's the rest of July.
Maybe I can do Diablo and Pikmin in August.
You definitely could.
I do want to...
You definitely could do both.
August is like...
Because you're not allowed to play Diablo without me.
You need to
all those times that you're not playing Diablo with me...
You need to make the most of August.
Yeah. Play your indie games. Get through your, some of the backlog that you've been playing. When are you going to play...
What?
Star Wars. Oh, man. When, though?
I'll get back to you on that. I don't know. Well, maybe we're not playing Diablo.
No, we have to. You just said we were.
You can play with a kit bot.
No, I don't want to.
I don't know.
Well, you better figure it out.
We asked Patreon what game they are most hyped for in 2023. And this was really interesting because very few games got mentioned more than once.
I saw a lot of people mention games that I'd never heard of before.
The couple games that got mentioned most were Mario RPG,
Wonder.
Sea of Stars, and Mario Wonder. So let's just read some of these comments. Dustin King says, Starfield. It has the biggest potential to me and could be filled with lots of fun and interesting things to do in space, but is also the most uncertain still of the big games.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of unknown excitement around just what it will end up being. I completely agree with this.
I agree with this too.
Yes.
It's a we shall see kind of moment here.
Joshy Josh says, I'm so excited for Super Mario Wonder. I need a new couch co-op game to play with my boyfriend, and he's not much of a gamer but loves 2D Mario games.
Oh,
this is
perfect.
the first one I've been excited for since New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and can't wait to make memories in this elephant-filled acid trip that is Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Yeah, this game looks like a complete just mind blown of ridiculous things, and it could be really fun to play with a group of friends.
Smangarang says, it's really close, but it has to be Super Mario RPG. Super Mario Bros. Wonder looks incredible, but the nostalgia I have for Mario RPG is way too potent. I'm also just excited to see this game experienced by a new generation. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Luis Illingworth says, easily Sea of Stars, and this was a game that got mentioned a lot.
People are hyped for this game.
The demo I played was fantastic, and as much as I love the new direction Final Fantasy XVI took, I'm always down for a turn-based RPG with gorgeous pixel art and music. Finally, Medallion holding out. Metroid Prime 4, of course, believe.
No, it's not going to happen, dude. Sorry.
Well, this is like when Kid Icarus got delayed and it saved my life. That one year.
Yeah, that's
Because it's like, that would have been the end of me.
That would have been the end of you for sure.
We're one game away from my life crumbling.
Just crumbling into a pile of dust, basically.
Right. Wow, 2023.
Wow. Yeah, but again, if Starfield ends up being like a hit, you just forget about the rest of the list. You're going to be playing that game. That's the thing. You don't know. You don't know if that's the scary part, because you made all these plans for all these games after Starfield, but if Starfield captures us, like I'm sure they want it to, you will not be playing any of these other games.
It's true.
So there's that.
Let's change the subject.
Into games
Talk about games we are actually playing now. Start with Final Fantasy 16, which you and I are both playing now.
Yes, you finally started this game. I know you...
I picked it back up last night.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You played it like... You brought over the demo that you played already, and then now you're in the full game, which is great.
Right.
Well, what do you think?
So... Well, I mean, I've played just a little bit beyond there, but I've now met Sid, who seems like he's going to be a big character. Been reunited with Torgal.
Best boy.
I've it seems like kind of your alliance has now shifted to be with Sid's group.
Yes.
There seems to have been the first of many plot twists to come. So I'm still very much in like the tutorial zone where they're still showing me things and teaching me things. But yeah, I immediately fell right back into it and it felt great, looked great. That forest area that you go into looks amazing.
Yeah, I really like that. The scenery is very dramatic. It changes very dramatically as you go through each of the sections. So I really like that.
Something I'm eager to see is like these areas so far have been very linear and also like not that big. Like these stages they put you into. So I'm curious to see like, are they all like that? I mean, it's fine if they are. Like I know people are upset and want something that's a little bit bigger. But I'm just curious to see like, are there any that feel that maybe have branching paths or a bit more expansive or a bit longer?
Not really.
We'll find out. Oh, or not.
Not, I mean, it's from the part that I've played. So you have that world map and you can, you fast travel to the different locations.
Yeah.
All of them feel relatively contained for the quest that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
There's some where they have like multiple crystals that you can fast travel to, but they seem pretty small to me.
All right.
But the thing about them is that the environments are all pretty different. Like, you do have areas that are very populated, like villages and things like that, where you get to see sort of that part of it. You do have like very dramatic, natural wonders and areas where you're in like a completely different environment. Like I was in like a volcano environment. So in a way, it's almost like, going through Hyrule where you have like a different, so sort of different places to explore. So that part I like, but they are relatively contained still.
All right.
Unless there's something that changes like halfway through the game. That's like, this is really different. Yeah, I did like some major story stuff last night. Now it feels very like like I'm on the Final Fantasy quest. Like I have a set number of tasks of things that I need to do. Every single time I do it, it has like a cause and effect to the story. Like, so now it just feels very much like, do these 7 things and something will happen,
All right.
So, but yeah, the characters continue to get more interesting and you're learning a lot about them. There's lots of plot twists along the way. It's continuing to feel very Game of Thrones to me.
Yeah.
Literally, there was a chapter called Fire and Ice, so there was that. So
there was also like in the Sid holdout, there was a character called Old Nan. I was like, they definitely had that in Game of Thrones. Old Nan was in Game of Thrones. And then when you see the overworld map, I just hear the theme song.
I know, totally. And then they have this other thing. It's called like the Iron Island, and it's literally the Greyjoys. No. It's the Greyjoys. Okay, that's just right there. And it's really cool because once you open up this part, like the next part, they have this like tactician woman that you meet, and she'll give you like a historical rundown of like each territory and what, like if they attacked another territory. So that whole thing just looks like the Game of Thrones like intro, with like the world map.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, it's great. I like it.
Yeah, this is the rare game that I am primarily in for the story as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking to enjoy that, and I'll sort of take the gameplay as it comes. But yeah, it was great to fall right back into that.
Yeah, the gameplay is getting a bit more challenging for me as well.
I did unlock. It's something they made you do in the tutorial was like the combat, like arena tutorial thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a fighting game where you can. And it even had that thing if like a fighting game has where it shows you all your inputs.
All the inputs, yeah. And it's crazy.
I was like, did we need this?
It's crazy.
Is this necessary?
You get all the different like the combos and all that
right,
stuff.
Right, because like I will promptly button mash my way through this game, but I guess there are people who will, become experts in it.
You do kind of need to not button mash soon, though, because I was button mashing a lot, and I was like, this is too easy. And then I got to, like, sort of where I am now with some of the bosses, and you do have to try a little bit to do, like, the dodges and and all that stuff. Yeah. So, and you have all your icon powers that you're going to need to juggle soon, because you'll get more of those. And yeah, those are really, really fun. And it's very customizable. You know, there's different ones you can put your points into and stuff like that. So I really like that. Like, you can customize it for the way that you want to use those powers, and it's really great. It's really fun.
Who cares about Final Fantasy 16 though? Because you beat Ghost Trick, and you will not stop talking about it.
This game was so amazing. It's like the best game I've played in a long time.
Now let me air some. You have not yet told me that I need to play this game, and I would like you to explain why.
I have told you that you need to play this game.
You have said
maybe
you have asked me, would you play this game? But you have yet to say you need to play this game.
Well, it has elements of stuff that you might not like, though, is the thing. Like, some of the puzzle solving and the dialogue. There's a lot of talking and a lot of, like that kind of Ace Attorney style of dialogue and layers of questioning to figure out what's going on. The actual gameplay part, I think, is a little bit faster paced, where when you're doing the ghost trick, it's less like investigating a scene, which I think you didn't really like, but more so almost like a logic puzzle of like, how can you manipulate these objects to your advantage?
Oh yeah, as long as it's not like a pixel hunt of like find the thing in the environment.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of dialogue.
Right.
So maybe, I don't know. You should try it. It's not a very long game, so there's a demo too. Why don't you just try the demo?
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll do that.
Yeah, try the demo.
Okay.
Because it's like, then you'll see if you like that kind of gameplay.
All right.
But yeah, everyone was telling me that this is one of the best twists in terms of story in like all of video games. Like, this is one of the best ones.
Do we need the spoiler alert here?
We're not going to say that. We're not going to say the twist.
Do we need to do this?
We're not going to say the twist. But I was just going to say I would agree with that.
Okay.
Like, that was... I cried.
You were the ghost all along?
I cried at the end of the game. This game is the silliest, zaniest game ever. You never would think that you'd be moved to tears at the end of this game, but you absolutely will be. Like, it is so good the way that because the story gets really ridiculous, and you're like, where are they going with this? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, this is getting like a little off the rails for me. And then it all comes back together, and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. That was great. And it's like and when you like break it down and you think about what that story is about, it's such a touching story, you know? And it's so relatable, and the characters are just like, I don't know, you're like rooting for them. So it's a really good ending, because you just want the characters to be okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's literally one of the best games I've ever played. I can't believe that I never played this game until now. It is amazing.
This game has taken over the Kit and Krysta Discord as well.
It is amazing. I cannot impress on you enough to play this game. Everyone, please. Please play this game. Even if you played it before on DS, I think you should play it again, because it looks really good on Switch. So good.
I have nothing to add because I haven't played this.
So good. So good.
Apparently I'm not allowed, thanks to you.
You should play it.
I'm too dumb. Anything else on Ghost Trick?
No.
I played, so I had a very, very, very long flight back. But also while I was away, I was playing a lot of games on my Steam Deck, which was great. I played more Dave the Diver, which I'm really enjoying. And something that's interesting about this game is like the scope of this game just keeps getting bigger and bigger in ways I didn't expect.
Yeah.
I'm like, when is this going to stop? Because it could have, like I was telling you last week about the loop where you go in the water, you get the fish, you go to the restaurant, you do that stuff, you kind of manage the restaurant, and you just kind of cycle through that. Like, that could have been the game. That would have been a very
satisfying experience.
Satisfying game for, an indie game that's $20, which is what this is. Now they've added, I now have a fish farm that I am managing.
Oh, wow.
I have a rice farm that
For the sushi making?
Yes.
Okay.
For my sushi rice that I am now managing.
Oh, that's very
And there's like
fancy.
a whole, in the fish farm, there's like a whole fish breeding thing that I honestly have not gotten too deep into that.
Wow.
Right. So that's two big additions. There's this whole other big side story. There's just actually a number of big side stories that have popped up that I'm like, how far are we going with these? where you have uncovered this underwater civilization with like mer people.
What?
The Little Mermaid lives down there basically, and it's like you are like doing things for them that are completely unrelated to the restaurant stuff. There was
it's a little morbid to be fishing there.
There was also this whole big side story about the sushi chef, you're not the sushi chef,
right?
About sort of his origin story. That I was like, these are all things that I did not expect to be in. Usually the scope of an indie game is like, it is what it is. Like they're not trying to like bloat these games out.
Yeah.
So
how many hours is Dave the Diver?
I've actually read that. I've read some reviews actually now that's out. I think it's quite a bit longer than I expected.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
who could have thought?
It has kind of changed that flow that I've talked about.
Okay.
In ways that I'm not sure I like as much as the early hours, where like I'm spending like. So
less time diving?
Well, now I've upgraded myself where I have more oxygen and I can go deeper in the water.
Okay.
So those expeditions last a lot longer.
Okay.
So like the amount of time you're spending in the water versus the amount in the restaurant is now getting a little bit out of whack. And it's like I actually miss the time in the restaurant.
Oh, okay, so
I don't know if this is a temporary thing or just kind of, or maybe this is just how this is in this game from now on. I'll find out as I keep going. But that's my takeaway here is like the scope of it just keeps getting bigger.
Unexpectedly bigger.
Right.
Okay.
There is also, like, I mentioned this last week, like, just a little, like, tone things that are, like, a little bit off.
Like the bloody shark battles?
Well, so, like, you find, like, a whale and, like, dolphins, and it's like, oh, we have to, like...
Preserve
the dolphins, or like, oh, the whale.
Yeah.
And there's like, people who are, like, poaching the dolphins.
Okay.
Like, oh, no, we mustn't have this. And then you're going down and you're, like, taking down this, like, shark that I know is, like, very, like, at risk because I'm into sharks. And it's like, this is a little off as far as what you're doing.
Yeah.
In this game. So that's just another thing that is just like stuck out to me is like, this doesn't completely feel like it's completely in sync.
Yeah.
Of the way they're looking at this like underwater ecosystem.
Yes, it's not very like, it's probably not very balanced.
Right.
You're just like kind of going with the
because it tries to have there's like
an environmental message.
There's like a Greenpeace kind of group that's like out to get you, and he's like, well, I'm just like, why aren't you going after like commercial fishermen? I'm just a guy, but you're still down there like taking out basically doing like sport fishing,
right, with your harpoon and stuff.
Exactly. So I don't know.
It's a little tricky.
It's not something that's like I'm going to stop playing this game because of this,
but it just feels a little weird.
It feels like they could have worked that out a bit better. Totally. Yes. Another game that I played on the Steam Deck that is on the Steam sale currently is Peglin. Peglin. So this is,
cute.
Get ready, a pachinko roguelike RPG.
Okay, good.
And the peg half of this is Peggle because it's I think they're trying to not get sued because it's not actually pachinko, it's Peggle. So you play this little goblin fella.
Okay.
And like the RPG elements are pretty light. Like there's not really a story, but there is like leveling up and stuff.
Okay.
So you go into you have these battles, and the battles are all done in this sort of Peggle system. And you can collect different weapons, which are the balls that you were shooting that all have different attributes. And some of the pegs also have different attributes too. So I'll give you an example. One of the balls could be the dagger ball, and one of the pegs could be the critical. And the way that the dagger works is it gets a higher critical than other weapons.
Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
You're trying to like hunt out the critical thing with the dagger ball.
Okay.
So you kind of amass your moves, which are your weapons, and you go through a number of different Peggle courses. I love Peggle, by the way. Peggle's
and this is all like
fun.
randomly.
It has like branching paths, so you can actually pick.
You pick. Okay.
There's some other games that have been like that, where it's like, oh, if you go this way, you go into you'll get an item, or if you go this way, you go into a really hard fight.
I see.
So you can kind of pick which way you go. Cool. But yeah, it is roguelike, and you're probably not going to finish it like every time through, and so there is an aspect of randomness to it. This game is still in early access. It does feel to me a little bit rough in like the menus. So we'll see, what they do with that when it's properly out. But this is a game that was on my radar, so I was like, well, it's on sale, so I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the games I've been playing. I did want to talk briefly just about, this was my first chance to really use the Steam Deck in a travel scenario.
Usually it's a Switch all the way.
Right.
But
I brought both.
You brought both,
right.
But you actually played quite a bit of your Steam Deck on the way.
I did. I was initially worried that I wouldn't be able to bring both because the Steam Deck case is so big.
It's huge.
But I found a way to cram both of those into my backpack, and it was great. It is definitely large. It's like that case is like twice as big as a Switch. But if you can find a way to put it in that bag, like it works great.
How's the battery life?
It depends on the game you're playing, more so than the Switch.
I see.
Like the Switch is fairly consistent depending on no matter what you're playing. If it's a pretty graphics intensive game,
it will suck it.
It can go fast. Like I'm talking like 2 hours.
Okay.
But I don't play too many games like that. So when I was playing like a Dave the Diver, like I was getting 5-6 hours.
Oh, that's
which
pretty good.
Pretty comparable to.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm surprised because I would think that would have a worse battery life because it probably use so many, things.
Yeah. Ergonomically, it's big. It never struck me as like, oh my gosh, I'm getting tired holding this thing for so long. Those little like mouse pads that they have in there, I admit, like I almost never use those. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just not playing the right games to fully use those. But it was really good. I feel like I've come a long way with that. I just recently got a dock for my Steam Deck so that I can play some of those games on my TV now. I didn't get the official Steam Deck dock because that had a lot of features that I just didn't need. It was like, if you're going to be playing on multiple monitors, it's like, no, I'm just going to be playing on a TV.
Oh.
So I got it's a USB-C hub.
Oh, cool.
Because Steam is very just open of like use whatever
it's like open
use
source
whatever
or
device
whatever.
you want as a dock versus Nintendo, which is like you literally can't do this.
Or else I'll break your system.
Right. So that's nice because I got that for like $25.
Nice.
And it
you
works
can use
great,
it for other stuff too.
Yeah.
You can put your laptop.
So yeah, I mean, I continue to have a pretty narrow type of game that I want to play on the Steam Deck, but for those games, it's been great. So still haven't sold it.
Great.
Yeah.
I've sold about half your birthday presents. By the way.
What?
Just kidding.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Gosh.
It's right here.
Before we get into the news of the week, we got another sponsor to shout out. This episode is sponsored by Care Of. Care Of is a subscription service that ships high-quality, personalized vitamins, supplements, and powders conveniently to your door every month.
Yeah, I love Care Of. It's so personal. I feel like these days, everything that you do, it's much better if you have a personal touch.
Right.
So for this, it's really nice to get your vitamins and supplements that is personalized just for you. And you take a quiz. We love a quiz. Very in-depth, but easy to complete quiz. And it just, you can input your health goals. You can talk about what is important to you. And they will come back with a personalized doctor-backed recommendation of your daily vitamins and supplements. So nice.
Yeah, this was great for me on my trip because you just get per day little individual patches. So I was like, well, how many days am I going to be gone? I'll just bring that many of those.
Yeah.
And when you're traveling, you don't want to get too far off of your routine. So I was able to keep taking those and feeling good.
And that way you don't have to carry like 18 bottles with you.
And you don't want to be like the old granny like vitamin, like, oh, it's a Tuesday, so here's my, you don't want to have to get one of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great. And like taking that quiz is actually fun, and it feels like it's getting to know you quite a bit better. So yeah, they're really onto something here.
They really are. They also have a new app available that has some cool features that help you with your like daily wellness. So you can like track certain things and just like have it get to know you a little bit better. So it's a really nice complement to the supplements you're getting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for 50% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code Kit and Krysta 50. I repeat, for 50% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code Kit and Krysta 50.
We'll put the link right over here and also in the description below.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's get along to the news. Money though. Money. In Nintendo's annual report, It's been revealed. Their top 5 executive salaries.
It's so sad.
Let's go through each of these. Number 1, Shintaro Furukawa, the head guy, $2.51 million. These are US dollars, by the way. Shigeru Miyamoto, $2.02 million. Shinya Takahashi, $1.61 million. Satoru Shibata, $1.19 million. And Ko Shioda, $910,000. They didn't even crack $1 million.
If you don't crack $1 million, do you share it?
Do you know who Ko Shioda is?
I don't, actually. Do you? Do you?
He is, I believe, the guy who was in charge of hardware.
Hardware,
right,
okay.
Right, so you have, Mr. Takahashi's in charge of software.
Yep.
Mr. Shioda is in charge of hardware. I was surprised that Mr. Shibata is on this list.
Really? Why is that?
Well, I don't know. So he is the former head of NOE. People may know him from when he did Nintendo Direct stuff. He was great at that.
Right.
Now, he went back to Japan, and he is in charge of marketing, licensing.
Licensing, yep.
What else?
Third party.
Well, that's licensing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's just those two things.
Yeah.
So it's an important job.
It's an important job.
And yeah,
global, you know.
Glocal?
The global person.
Another barf-worthy term. Glocal? Yeah, I don't know why I thought I was surprised to see him on the list. I just was.
Why is the hardware guy
I figured it would be more product. Right, I figured it would be more product.
Give Shioda a raise, man.
People. Gotta crack $1 million for old Co.
Give him $90,000 more dollars and let the man crack $1 million. Jeez, that's so sad. Now, just for context, Bobby Kotick, $150 million a year. So.
Oh, Bobby.
Oh, Bobby. Oh, boy. So these are very humble salaries for some of the most important people in video games. You know, at a very big company, not big, but like a very important video game company. This just speaks to Nintendo's way. You know, they're very low key. They're very humble. It's amazing, really. That
I wish I knew more about like executive compensation just in Japan in general. Like if you're the CEO of Toyota, like how much are you making? Because I'm sure if you're the CEO of like General Motors,
just look it up.
You're making a lot. Oh, here we go with the hot Googling.
Google
yes,
it.
please
CEO
Google that.
of Toyota
Salary. Right. You don't know at all. This is $4.5 million US dollars. So I think this is just a
Japan.
This is just a like a US versus Japan thing where these these US executive salaries are completely out of control.
That's ridiculous. It just speaks to how ridiculous it is, right?
Right,
yeah.
right. And again, like Mr. Iwata famously like cut his salary to get Nintendo through those challenging times without having to lose staff, having to whack you and I. Thank you for that, Mr. Iwata.
Seriously, that's it's like a huge difference between, whereas you have like, if you're Mark Zuckerberg, you're laying off like 30,000 people.
That was the saying though. There's like nobody's getting rich working at Nintendo. That was the saying. Yeah. Like it's true. Like compared to other companies in this area.
It absolutely is true. It was a very humble salary globally. As noted here on the executive salaries, it does roll downhill. Obviously, like no one is making that much money at Nintendo. So
number 6 on the list was Krysta Yang, $909,000. $1,000 under Ko Shioda. Ko Shioda pulled the Price is Right. Said I need to be $1,000 higher than
her. And a buck. Oh boy.
I mean they share these yearly. Not a lot has changed on these. They kind of are what they are at this point.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
All right. A lot of people wanted us to talk about this next story, which is Pokemon launching a new YouTube series, Beyond the Pokédex. Mm-hmm. So this is starring Fake Kit and Fake Krysta. This is a monthly series taking a deeper look at an individual Pokemon every time. They claim that they're going to get through the entire Pokédex. Oof. I have not done the math.
That's going to take a long time.
Over 1,000 Pokemon times 12 months a year is a long time.
That's a long... These people are going to get like really old.
I may not be around to
witness
see the end of this.
The conclusion of Beyond the Pokédex.
But what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's interesting. I think it's a good idea, to do something that shows people more about your brand and all of these Pokemon. They have a lot of fodder in terms of like they have a lot of content, especially if they're dragging it out once a month. People are saying like, do you think this is like Nintendo Minute? I would say absolutely not, because this is completely scripted, and these are actors.
Extremely scripted.
These are Spruce and Maple are hired actors that
you don't even use their real names.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're basically, on a set, on a very controlled set. They're reading off a teleprompter. It's 100% like an advertisement versus it being a conversational, unscripted show. So in that respect, I don't think it's similar to Nintendo Minute at all. But I think the idea is really fun, and it's a fun way for people to learn about the different Pokemon. And I did not know that Sobble's tears had the potency of 100 onions. So there you go. I learned that in this episode of Beyond the Pokedex. But I think it's fun, but it's not Nintendo Minute.
Right. Yeah, I thought the first episode was solid. I will say, if I was on the receiving end of the pitch for this, I would have some concerns with like what is the commitment I am making to this show with you going through 1,000 Pokemon monthly forever. Yeah. Like I would be a little uncomfortable with that. I would have found some other way to have a conceit for it that doesn't sound like.
Now I've signed up for years and years and years.
Yeah, what are we getting ourselves into? Because if that's true, then that means you're going through multiple cycles of these actors who surely will not be around to the end. I don't think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Multiple rounds of internal employees who are going to have to see this thing through.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think it's a very realistic concept for them to have.
Yeah.
I would have found another way to do it.
I don't think they're going to get through it.
Then why say that?
I don't know.
Why say that? That's such a weird thing to say when everybody's like afraid of getting in too deep on these content projects.
It's true, because you never know. Like, what if the first episode is like a total? It wasn't, but what if it like tanked?
Well, it actually hasn't done like crazy numbers.
But their stuff doesn't ever do like crazy numbers.
Oh, they got a big channel. So
what was it, like 40K?
Yeah, but they've got millions of subscribers for the episode 1 of this thing that's getting news coverage. Like, if I was in charge, I wouldn't be worried about that. But like, somebody's gonna be like, oh, well, we got another 99 years of this to go.
The longevity of it, I'm concerned about, because I don't think they're gonna be able to see it through to the end. But
I just wouldn't have said we're covering all of them.
I think it's just like a marketing thing,
That's what marketing is picking the right words to use. I just wouldn't have said that.
Well, it's like, you better get on board now because you're covering all the.
Because it's like, yeah, guess what? We're skipping Mr. Mime because he's a creep weirdo.
Oh no!
Like, do it that way. It's like we're cherry picking the most relevant and best Pokemon. Sure. Do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to get into their heads here a little bit. I wouldn't have said it either. I'm not saying that this is the right thing to do, but I'm just saying, like, maybe they're thinking to make a big splash. They need to tell people that they're real committed to this. It's like, you got to get on board because we're going to share 1,000 Pokemon with you over the next 10 years.
Nobody is that committed to anything. As a Pokemon a month for the rest of our lives.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
These are your relationships, not mine.
We have some breaking news. I love the Monday breaking news. EA has announced that they are making a new Black Panther game that is being made by this new studio, Cliffhanger Games, which I guess is made up for people who worked on the Mordor, Lord of the Ring games previously. We actually used to work with one of the writers.
Yeah, I saw that
this game,
morning.
which is
exciting
news to see.
That's exciting. Yes.
I imagine we might see or hear more about this game at Comic-Con, which is coming up in like a week or two. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, seems cool.
Seems very cool. I'm excited. I'm always here for another Marvel game.
Yeah, it feels like Marvel is kind of under... not made the most of their opportunity in games. Yeah. So it's always good to see them doing something a little bit more.
Yeah.
There was also something like I think in their announcement they were like, "Oh, this is a new AAA game." It's like, I think we're getting a little bit weird about the use of AAA. Like, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Does it mean we're spending a lot of money on it?
I think so.
You need to care.
You have to.
What does it mean?
It's going to be some like 1 million hour open world AAA game. Is that what it means? Because I can't deal with that anymore.
Are there any games that are not AAA now? We're developing a new Double B. game on.
Our game's gonna be in the Z's.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't
on
care.
Ant-Man.
You shouldn't care. I don't know. It just becomes like this phrase that means nothing.
It absolutely. Which I'm so glad at Nintendo we did not use that term.
Yes, we did.
Not really.
We absolutely did.
No, like what? Like when? For what?
For every game that was a AAA game, it was like maybe internally, not. But it was like, you're working on a AAA game. You better work harder. You're doing a bad job. That's what they said to me.
Oh. I never got that talk. Maybe I was doing too good a job.
Maybe.
But, yeah, it feels like Marvel's just in kind of a shaky place right now in general. Like, they don't really have much momentum with anything. So I kind of just wonder.
The movie side has really waned a whole. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Took a huge nosedive.
Right.
And also the TV shows have been a little shaky too. Like on the Disney Plus side, like they used to have like some bigger Marvel.
Yeah, it just feels like
TV
everything's
shows.
fallen.
Now
I wonder who. Will this be? What Black Panther are we getting? Are we going to get virtual Chadwick Boseman? AI Chadwick Boseman in this? Who is the Black Panther in this game?
Do that. That seems very insensitive.
What are they going to do?
I don't know.
This is their chance.
The new Black Panther movie was quite good.
I haven't seen it.
I cried a lot.
Oh no.
It's really touching how they that must have been a very hard needle to thread.
Yeah.
You know, to do that. But that touched me. That touched my heart. That was a good way of commemorating him. It's really sad. I don't know. I hope they do a good job. They should. They need to. I love Black Panther, and I'm excited about a video game. I do like Marvel games that are like one individual franchise as well. I think that makes it just feel a bit more immersive versus it just like a Marvel Ultimate. And that's fun too for different reasons.
Right.
But like, you think about a game like, can this be like almost like another like Spider-Man? You know, like those games are so fantastic. So can this kind of be like that too? I don't know. We'll see.
That's the news. Let's get into questions from our Patreon community. And we also do exclusively for our Patreon subscribers a weekly bonus Q&A where we answer some steamy questions. But our first question here is from Silvergrass Moon. Hi, Kit and Krysta. Is there a silver lining to the more buttoned-up approach of the current generation of NCL leadership? Fan sentiment seems pretty consistently negative on Nintendo's withdrawal from the community. For example, keeping devs and execs in the hole.
In the hole?
Ending the Nintendo Power podcast, sterilizing social media channels, etc. But is that style exactly what might get us the Switch 2 that many want, instead of a new Super Switch U++ Sharp FE? In your opinion, would that make it worth it, or is the stability, creativity trade-off too costly? Thanks for considering my question. Well done, Silver Grassman.
The hole. I think as with everything, there is sort of an ebb and flow, and there's ups and downs. And right now, we talk about this a lot, you know, the Nintendo execs and the leadership team, they don't see, you know, zany marketing, or they just don't see any additional value other than being very straight-laced about talking about the games and systems as needed, you know? So, but they're at this like really high right now. But there's going to be a day when you're going to come down, you know? Like it's always, you're never going to stay at the top forever. It's always going to ebb and flow. And when it ebbs and flows, I think you have to start thinking about different ways to market your brand. And the world's going to change. The way that we communicate continues to change. So I think there's going to be a world where things, you know, shift back to the other way, potentially. So I think it's just a matter of like kind of riding out that wave.
I think it's important to note the distinction between Nintendo marketing and Nintendo product. I think Nintendo product, there has not been necessarily a change. I think they're still empowered to do what they want and be zany, and I don't think there was any mandate to like play it safe there. Whereas with the marketing, there clearly have been some changes. And like you said, yeah, I think they will eventually hit a point where they need to open up a little bit more. But there are just some general things that I appreciated about it. Like, so for example, working on social media, like not like feeling any pressure to act on whatever the latest
the trend.
stupid meme or trend is. Like, not trying to be like the Wendy's account.
That's exhausting.
It was well understood. Like, we are not trying to do that. Don't actually think that way.
Yeah.
We want to maintain the sanctity of these. There was even a time where it was like we were getting a lot of requests from our retail teams, like, oh, can you promote this sale? How about we have this special offer? Could you do that?
Yeah.
And it was like,
no, it's getting all too salesy.
And then people actually stepped in. They're like, no, we are not like, this is not a like sales channel. This is like a fan engagement channel.
Right.
So we need to actually stop doing that. And they told those salespeople to beat it.
Yeah.
So there are some things just philosophically that I appreciate of not like cluttering it or getting too far away from what Nintendo is or what people want to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for now the pendulum has swung a bit far. But they'll be back.
Exactly.
Yeah. Banana Bread Slice has the next question. Apparently Sony says it cost $212 million to make Horizon Forbidden West and $220 million to make The Last of Us Part 2. Does this surprise you, or is it what you thought? Do you think Nintendo budgets are similar? It seems like a lot of money to me.
It seems like a lot of money to me, too.
That is a lot of money, my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Sony Microsoft has pretty deep pockets, too, but...
Does Starfield cost more or less to make than
I was
than
just
this?
wondering that same thing. I feel like I have a really big blind spot, and I just don't have a lot of context around how much games actually cost to make.
Yeah.
That was something that was never shared with us at Nintendo. I'm always so curious. I wish there was like a piece of paper or like a document somewhere that had like that, those numbers, because I'm so curious.
Yeah, that's the one thing that was never discussed. I don't think a lot of people just even knew.
I don't think anyone really knew.
How much did Breath of the Wild cost to make?
Yeah.
It's certainly not $200 million.
I don't think so.
But I think that's one of the hidden advantages that Nintendo has also, is like these games are costing a fraction to make of what Sony and Microsoft
But it just depends on, like, they probably have so much legacy. Like, games are expensive. You have to build your own engines and like all that stuff. And so much more beyond that I don't even know, that is costing money. I just feel like Nintendo has like these little secret tricks and also ways that they're probably cutting costs because they have such a long legacy of making games that they're able to like recycle things or do things a certain way that's probably a lot more cost effective. So
yeah, and I mean, this explains why you see Sony doing things to try and make up some of the difference on these budgets. Like, these games eventually come to PC now. And I think their whole strategy on PC has actually been really good.
It's really good,
and that it comes out late enough where you still have a reason to get it on PlayStation and feel like you're part of that first wave.
Like exclusive.
And the PC part does feel like something that's different and later. But those games are still doing really well on PC, I think.
Yeah, so they're able to recoup some cost that way.
Right, and then all the Twisted Metal TV show, like, I think that is very clearly that whole industry is like, hey, let's make a little bit more money off of these things. And then, the whole shift to $70 makes a lot more sense when you see things like this. So, Microsoft has the deep pockets. Like, I don't think they care as much because they have the Excel bucks. But Sony, I think you'll continue to see them think of ways to just squeeze a little bit more here and there because this is getting out of control.
They have to. And we were talking about the other day, like we were hearing like games are taking like over 10 years to make because the scope is so spiraled so much out of control. So it feels like all of it has spiraled sort of out of control, whether it's budget and cost, scope, like. When do we ask ourselves the question, like, does it need to be this big?
Well, I don't...
Yeah, like, does it need to be a $220 million game? Does it need to be 700 hours? Like, I don't know. Maybe no.
I don't know if we have seen the first, like, bomb of a game that's made in this style. All these games feel, like, too big to fail. Where, like, all these games that they have made in this style that started in the PS4 generation feel like they've done decently well enough.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they haven't all been, like, mega smash hits like a God of War, but they've done okay enough for them to continue.
It's not like they're losing.
But I think it only takes one to totally upend this whole formula. Where it's like, oh, Game X, on a $200 million budget made us $50 million. Now, that's hurting Sony corporation in a big way.
Yeah.
What happens now?
And then the future becomes a little shaky then.
I don't think we've seen that.
Let's hope it doesn't happen.
Right.
But
so,
I think you don't want to get to a point where you may see that, because things have spiraled so far.
That's why the stress of every
control.
single one of these games is so high.
I know.
That's why you get people like Corey Balrog pulling his hair out on Twitter because he's like feeling that.
I feel sad for them.
I wouldn't want to be in that position.
No, and that pressure, and also just like, and just like, you feel like the only thing you can do is just make games bigger and bigger and bigger and more expensive to keep up or to make it feel important. Like, that doesn't feel right either,
Yeah.
So maybe there's a rebalancing of sorts that need to happen. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
Chewy plays Nintendo's Next, Take It and Krysta, with all the changes to Twitter and much uncertainty around that platform's future. Do you think Nintendo is reevaluating how it shares news and announcements? I and many others have relied on Twitter for Nintendo Direct announcements, so I thought it would also be interesting to know what Nintendo considers its major hub for those types of announcements. We should say, as of today, Nintendo is still not on Threads or any of these other...
Or TikTok.
TikTok or any of these pseudo Twitter spin-offs.
Right. Twitter is Nintendo's biggest audience, I believe. Biggest subscriber base.
Well...
Still?
So technically Facebook is.
Oh, Facebook.
But that is a lot of legacy nonsense from like 2011.
When we first launched Facebook.
Right, that is no longer active, no longer like those accounts could be long.
Yeah, I think
inactive.
in terms of followers may be the most, but in terms of engagement it may be very
I always said the crown jewels of Nintendo global social media
Twitter
were NOA Twitter and NOA YouTube.
Yeah.
Those were the two biggest ones. And it's got to be hard to see one of those kind of crumbling before your eyes.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And I'm sure that they are not happy with everything that is going on at Twitter.
12.9 million followers on Twitter.
I do think they'll eventually make a move to Threads. I think the fact that it's not out in Europe yet is a factor for them. I think they
want to globally be aligned.
They act globally.
Yeah.
So it's not something they would have to do, but I think it's something they want to do. I mean, it is
within Instagram, sort of.
You could post the same thing on Twitter. You could do that. It's not a best practice, but you could do it. It is part of this, meta Facebook, Instagram ecosystem that they're very comfortable with.
They already know that.
It's not this scary.
Well.
It's not
scary TikTok from the Chinese.
It's not a scary new thing that you need to completely. It's not a different type of content that you need to have some new workflow for.
Exactly.
You're already kind of doing this.
Right.
And it's a safe kind of hedge your bets thing in case Twitter. I tried to post something on Twitter this morning. Just straight up didn't work.
That happened to me twice
What's
last
going
week.
on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on.
Cage match cannot happen at a faster time to get this all figured out. But yeah, I would say, Nintendo's always been a little bit slow on the uptake on any sort of new social media platforms, channels. We even fought a pretty tough battle just to get another Instagram account. We're already on Instagram, so even that was a bit of a battle. So I think there's probably a lot of people at Nintendo right now writing those reports and trying to
Who needs channels when you just write reports for the rest of your life?
I'm just saying, the time and energy that you've just put into writing the 5th report about Threads, you could have just made an account and had your whole strategy done for the next 2 months. But, just me, whatever. But yeah, so I think there's probably a lot of people that are wanting to get on Threads at Nintendo, but just need to convince the right people, and that's going to take some time.
And that could be painful. Extremely painful, and I'm super glad that I'm not there to have to deal with this either.
Your Thread strategy was just telling me, hey, I made us a Thread account. I hope you don't mind. That was
you didn't even know what it was.
I did know.
So because I told you 10 minutes before.
You didn't. I was like, what are you talking about? You're very confusing.
Blue sky? What? Huh?
I was very confused about your message. Jeez. Your nonsensical message.
But
anyways.
As far as the good news is the people will go to them. So if they pick a new platform, people will go there to get the Nintendo Direct announcement.
They want the news.
Right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They are in this fortunate position where the people will come to them.
Exactly.
So I don't think they're worried about that. They obviously
worry.
want to be on vibrant platforms where people are.
Yeah.
But they're not worried of nobody's going to find out about the next Nintendo Direct.
People will.
That will take care of itself.
Yeah, yeah. The good thing about that is that if you want to, everyone already wants to know about your news. They're interested in your products and brand and stuff.
People care.
So you're in a good place there.
Hannah Plowman has the next question. Hope I'm not double dipping on a past question, but what are y'all's thoughts on why there was never a new Donkey Kong Country game developed for the Switch? This late in its lifespan, it seems unlikely we'll be getting anything other than the port of Wii U's Tropical Freeze. Hannah from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think Retro Studios is working on Metroid, man.
Yeah, I think
a little busy.
I got the feeling, because I worked on the original Tropical Freeze, I got the sense they were just really happy with what they had done with those two games and felt kind of ready to move on to a new challenge and a new game. Yeah. So I would love an HD version of Donkey Kong Country Returns. We don't have that yet. Mm-hmm.
The world of remasters, that could be very possible.
That would be great. I mean, I would love them to keep making things, but I mean, just knowing how long it takes them to make anything, it's like...
You gotta pick and choose.
I can live with that mindset where we did everything we wanted to accomplish. We're moving on. See you in 10 years.
I also wanted to. There was like that rumor that there was another sort of open world style Donkey Kong game being made. I wonder if that is sort of maybe there's some truth to that in a world where they're like, okay, well then we don't need another Donkey Kong Country game. We're taking Donkey Kong franchise in a different direction. And wanting to focus on that.
This does stand out as a series that needs a bit more attention, love and attention.
Yeah.
Now that the movie has revitalized.
I was going to say the movie, yeah.
This there's the ride coming to Universal, so hopefully somebody over there is thinking about Donkey Kong more than they were in the past.
I think so, and I think this is a perfect time to do something different in the Donkey Kong franchise as well. That's something we haven't seen before. Yeah, so I'm actually holding out hope for that. I hope that happens.
Pikmin Sneezekov is next. Hi, Kit and Krista. I would like to ask you, why do you think people from Nintendo rarely write and publish books? We have a few exceptions, such as the phenomenal book of Disrupting the Game by Reggie Fils-Aimé, Ask Iwata, an interview of Satoru Iwata and Shigeru Miyamoto towards the end. Nintendo has always been very proud of their unique game design philosophy, differing from their competitors. So I'm curious why they have been less eager and shying away from writing actual books about this in great detail. I'm personally hoping that one day Shigeru Miyamoto will write an autobiography, an absolute legend in the industry and the creator of Pikmin.
Maybe he'll write one when he retires.
Well, I think Pikmin Sneezekov hits the nail when he talks about very proud of their unique game design philosophy. There's always talk about we can't give away the secret sauce.
Yeah, the Nintendo magic as a secret.
There is a limit to how much they want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because they do feel like that is...
like a trade secret.
Something they have that is not yet replicable. I don't know if it is if you talked about it anyway, but they don't want to talk about it so much that somebody even tries.
I think so, yeah.
Right, so for that reason, this Miyamoto book, I think, is unlikely, considering that it seems he has no intention of retiring anytime soon.
I was going to say, maybe when he retires and he has nothing else going on, he's done.
Maybe, but I think even then he'll still be so connected to the company that I think there will still be people saying yeah, you shouldn't do this.
Maybe he can dance around it a little bit.
I think the other thing is
I would like to see it.
This mentality of we can't elevate the individual at the expense of the company or the organization. That's a real thing. So I don't think they would ever want to have an employee write a book and be like, this is about me. I did these things.
I did these things. Yeah.
No matter how much you talk about the collective efforts, it is still from this person, focused on this person's perspective.
And it's also this person's story. So,
right.
Yeah, that would be.
So that's why it's great when we do get the Reggie book. There is that book that is coming out on Mr. Iwata where I wrote a short blurb for that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
There's a Kickstarter going for that. That seems to be a very well done book. But as far as books from Nintendo, I wouldn't hold your breath. I'm going to once again, though, pitch my great idea
coffee table
to
book?
all the people that are listening at Nintendo. Please give me a super premium.
They should totally do
Iwata Asks coffee table book
book
that just includes every interview printed into book form.
With some photos. There's already some great photos.
The photos are already there.
Photos are there.
There is no limit to how much I will pay for this.
Have a designer just do a really classy cover for it. Maybe someone can write a foreword.
Maybe that person could be me. Please.
Yeah. But it would be great to have that. I would love that. They already have the material.
How much would you pay for that?
$200.
$500. Would you pay $500 for that?
Probably.
I would pay $500.
I think I would.
Yes.
Yeah, if it was like a really premium, limited edition book, I would pay that much money. Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of interviews.
That would
Volume
be great.
1, Volume 2, Volume 3.
Ooh, it's like the Encyclopedia.
Who needs the Encyclopedia Britannica?
I was going to say, it's going to be like the Encyclopedia Britannica. Oh my gosh, of a wad of interviews.
Put it on a CD-ROM like Encarta. Do it.
Oh, I used to have that CD-ROM.
Don't do that.
I used to learn that way.
They can make the Louvre guide on a 3DS. We can get a wad of asks.
Guide.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeez.
The Louvre guide.
Last question is from Bowser. Who is Bowser Jr.'s mom? Excuse me. Dear Kit and Krysta. 2 business cases. Number 1. No backwards compatibility with Switch games on the next Nintendo hardware. A vicious left out in the cold cutoff. Opportunity to resell everything to next-gen customers with some games enhanced for the updated hardware. Significant hemorrhaging of goodwill. Number 2. Full backwards compatibility with all Switch software. Digital purchases transfer across, no exceptions. Even a secondary cartridge slot for original Switch games if required. Existing Switch software momentum marches on strongly into the next generation without having its tendons cut, which is the business move Nintendo makes for their shareholders.
I think it depends a lot on what this next system is going to be.
Let's assume for the sake of this that it is truly the Switch 2.
Then I think number 2. Because I think what they want to do from a business perspective is move as many people that they have existing in the Switch family, in the Switch audience, that already own a Switch to this next purchase. So they want to make that transition as seamless and as easy as possible. Now, if you can move your entire Switch base dream scenario, over to your next system, you'll be golden for another 7 years, 10 years, right? So if it is very much a Switch 2, 4K Switch, whatever, then I would say number 2 is probably the right move.
My answer is the nefarious, why not both?
2 SKUs?
I mostly agree with number 2. I get a little weird about the second cartridge slot. I wonder what they will actually do with that. I mean, maybe you could come up with something where, like, if you had a physical cartridge on Switch, you could beam the digital version.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, somehow.
The 3DS, they had a slot for Game Boy, right?
It was the same slot.
Yeah, but it was just like a bigger cartridge.
Right, so, I mean, that sort of depends on what they do with physical media.
Right.
I still think they should keep doing, though, this strategy of remakes and updates.
Yeah, I don't think the remakes are part of number 2, though. Like, you can still do
that's
remakes.
That's why I'm saying do both. So it's like, yes, you are carrying over, but you still have the opportunity to heavily monetize them, where it's like, hey, guess what? You just transferred over your original version of Super Mario Odyssey. Well, now I'm going to sell you a version that's in 4K and has another planet
or something.
on it.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think a lot of people would jump on that.
I think people would definitely.
I would jump on that.
That's another good way of moving your existing player base over to the next system.
Right.
Because then you give them more incentive for games that they already loved on Switch, and then they're like, oh, I get this new, cool, prettier version that has like a little bit more content. Like, I'll do it.
I think some people would hit a limit with that sort of thing, where it's like, you can start to do too much of that. I would love that. And I think that's a perfect world where it's like, if you have the game, you can still play it. But we also have that. If you're coming in fresh and you want the newest version, buy that.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to feel like you're getting an upgrade, buy that too.
Yeah. Lots of options. Options are good. People like
break the rules in business. That's the answer.
Options.
Take the rules and break them. That's how you get to the top. That's how I win a cage match. What if it's me versus both of them at once and I take them both down? I get them in a double headlock.
That's what I'm saying. Then you have both Threads and Twitter.
Yes.
And you can control all of this. Then you can be the controller of all the social media.
Then the blue sky guy runs out of the thing. I don't even know.
Jack Dorsey?
I don't even know who that is.
He's very strong. He's on like
That's Jack Dorsey?
Isn't it?
Is it?
I think it is.
Oh, I can't beat him.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, he ate his one meal a month before he got in.
And he's been fasting, and he's very wiry.
He's hopped up on hemp milk or something.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's very wiry. He's going to get you.
Those are our questions for this week. Great questions, everybody.
Yes. All right, a non-laggy version of our Superstar.
I don't know why it's laggy when we do it remote. It's the only thing that comes out laggy.
I know. It's not my fault. I
actually think it is. I have thought that. This is her fault.
Why?
I don't know. I have thought that, though.
But why?
starting to, zone out into the distance as we get to the end of this podcast.
I absolutely did not zone out.
Can't wait to hang up on this loser.
Superstars. Not losers, superstars. The best of the best. Here we go. Aaron Hash.
Ben Eichhorn.
MaruMayhem.
Eigenverse.
KissMyFlapjack.
Mike Chin.
Mr. Rogers.
Roy Eschke.
Switching it up, _
Sephazon.
TheSharkAmongMen.
vgmlife.
Link, the hero of wins.
Angela Bycroft and her pig Molly.
TurboChargeNerd.
Thomas O'Rourke.
Kyle LeBoeuf.
Kristopher Lara.
Simon.
Fredrik Wolf Konradsson.
And Andrew Youhas.
Look at that.
Wow.
Slick as can be.
Slick. All right, here we go with the One Up Club graduation ceremony. Aaron Burgundy.
Adam and Ansley.
Jean Malari.
Ale Alejandro.
Alexandra Pratt.
Astrodev.
Bad Moo Rising.
Benji B.
Bookham Dano.
Brad SF56.
Brooke Obscura.
Brookie Kazooie.
Bruce Dash.
Chelly Squirrel.
Christopher Lay.
Captain Alex.
Crimcat.
C Roper 17.
Daniel Cold.
Daniel Phillips.
Dachshund.
Dolce.
Dino Punch.
Elite Peach.
Elix 780.
Espars 50.
Fart Priest 69.
Fairbound.
Fernie and Jess Forever.
Fox Deploy.
Fred Rossi.
Garrett Hullfish.
Garth the Wolf.
Gartooth.
G-Sun 101.
Ian Shea.
Iris Marin.
J Rando.
Jabroni Jones.
JBJ.
Jeffrey Hernandez.
Jerry 92602.
Jesse Hernandez.
John Responte.
Jonathan Rowe.
Jordan Collette.
Jordan Hemmerly.
Joseph DeHaze.
Joshua Clements.
Juji Fruit.
Just Camtro.
Justin Lemminger.
Cairo Trigger.
Kawa 2796.
Keith Kwan.
Kelp Shape.
Kevin Deland.
Kilo Kibo.
Chris Yu.
Christopia Party With Me.
Kyle Gamer Berry Rookie.
Kyle Kretzer.
Kyler Nelson.
Linnell Stickman.
Lennis Sullivan.
Lit.
Mad Dog 5981.
Marky Man 64.
Mecha Dragon 101.
Megan.
Michael Cravens.
Mikey.
Motomania.
Mr. Andy Pong.
Mr. Beans and Dip.
MSM Pokey Gamer.
My Tran.
Nasir.
Nathan Burkhart.
Nick E.
Ninja 11.
Panda Buns.
Pingy.
Paul C. Pace.
Hogale Network.
Prime Factor.
Prince Charmless.
Reaver.
Raintack.
Renee Rivers.
Ryleth 1.
RJ Kern.
Rox Osborne. Rob Osborne.
Rocks.
Ryanetta.
Sam Nealon.
Sharif Jackson.
Shinryu.
Slowbro.
Shrews.
Silly Ferret.
SJ Sharky 777.
Spicy Munchkin.
Steel Citron.
Tales of Link.
Tech Magic.
Terra Storm.
Thomas Alvarez.
Topher Schmofer.
Travis Torline.
Tugs Puppy Bear.
Tuscoob.
Tyler Geis.
That's fast.
Video Game Stupid.
Virtual Bot.
Weeb Kingdom.
Wicked Davy.
Will Johnson.
Zudiver.
Zelgaroth.
Zapati.
And Zoroid. Okay. That shit wasn't too long, this episode. It's not bad.
We got through it.
We did. It was a good first one back, I think.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Feel great.
Okay.
Really got some things out in the open that I've just been
Off your chest.
had it on my chest for 3 weeks that I needed to say.
I hate you. Go away. Why are you here?
Hope you stay in the
Shut
woods
up.
and never come back.
Hope you get eaten by a bear, etc. Anyways, please join us at patreon.com/Kit and Krysta to keep all of this going. You mean a lot to us. We love you. Please join us.
If you are watching on video on YouTube, you can go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Give this episode a thumbs up and leave us a comment. We read all the comments. Also, if you are listening on audio, you can go ahead and subscribe there as well. Leave us a 5-star rating and also a written review.
I'm desperately updating our social media channels because we're on so much more now.
What are you doing?
Socials. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Threads.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at that.
It's amazing. All right. That it?
That's it.
Okay, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.